Y'all, this eclipse season. Jesus, take the wheel. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, take the wheel. It's been hitting. And if there's anything that I know, the divine is calling us to learn how to use our faith, how to turn our faith into a verb, how to be actively involved in acquiring the knowledge of spiritual law so we can create conditions of prosperity. And with eclipses coming in, this shit is just random stuff coming in, random stuff coming out. So buckle up, baby. Yo, it's your girl JV, High Priestess, back at it again with the general tarot reading for this full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus that we are having. Ooh, and as I said that, this, you see the sun just came out, that we are having October 28th, 2023. And when we're talking about eclipses, we are talking about a diminishment of a luminary, a diminishment of a source of light. That solar eclipse that we had, it was a diminishment of the sun. And now we're going to be having a diminishment of the moon. And so there is this sudden diminishment of light, sudden diminishment, like sudden in and out vibes, things suddenly coming in, suddenly going out. With it being a lunar eclipse and we're dealing with the moon, we're talking about our emotions, our feelings, our soil. I just saw a little spider web right there, and I just felt like the web threads of fate coming in. Being able to see the threads of fate, being able to see like different forks in the road and where you need to dig your heels in, where you need to like assert your faith. Because this eclipses, a diminishment of light, sudden in and out energy, the moon, our emotions, our feelings, and then this is Taurus. And Taurus is a sign of I have. Taurus is your values, money, possessions, your stuff, your relationship to your stuff. And I do feel like there is just this like sudden shift in how we feel about our stuff, how we feel about our prosperity, how we feel about abundance. Hydrate, light it if you got it. And let's go ahead and clear out, create a safe space for my benevolent ancestors, Mother God, Father God, Mother Earth. Thanking you for the most useful, helpful, and divinely aligned messages for this full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus. You guys catch the vibe. Lay down, relax. We don't have control over what's going to happen anyway, but we do have control over how we respond or react to it. We do have, ooh, shout out to Moon Glow, this piece. Oh, Emily, you did your thing. Anyway. Speaking of Taurus, possessions, your shit, there could be just some like sudden like you feel differently about the things that you value. You want to maybe invest in different things. It's just going to manifest in different ways for everybody. This is sudden energy. We're not supposed to dissect it so much, honestly. I'm not interested in dissecting it so much, because it's going to manifest differently for everybody. It's going to materialize in your lives differently. So, do you have faith or not? Ultimately, that's what this is about. Do you believe or not? You good or no? Y'all, check me out on Patreon, patreon.com/JustJEverything. Also, check out my YouTube channel at JustJEverything, TikTok at JustJEverything. If you're interested in free shit, my Insta sham at JustJ_everything. And for other dope shit that I do, my website, JustJEverything.com. So the big thing here is I have a lot more notes than normal, and that's what I feel like I want to stick to, because this came in as a very specific like download, like curriculum, like I got it all at once. And the big thing here is it's time to start asking yourself, what do you do when you can't see the light? When you thought everything was okay and you're shrouded in darkness, something suddenly comes in, what is your innate reaction? Is it faith or is it fear? What is your initial response to fear? What is your initial response to not getting what you want? Or to not seeing, like when the light is blocked, when the outcome is blocked, when you're shrouded in uncertainty, what is your response? Do you innately move into trust? I trust you. Trust you, universe. You got this. God is my supply. What's for me can't miss me. Does your spirit start feeding you the word that you've been planting in it, the wisdom you've been planting in it? Or do you instantly choose fear and go down the worst case scenario, and your heart starts racing and you're thinking about your rebuttals and what you're going to say and how you're going to do, and do you sit there and manifest the negative? And if so, cool. We're just calling it out. We're just nipping it in the bud. And the way to start to shift that is by spoken word. And it's funny because Taurus rules the throat, and words are spells. And there is something here about understanding that spoken word supersedes thought. So whatever crazy thoughts or visualizations that you're having, you need to use your words to speak out whatever it is, like the antithesis of whatever it is that you're fearful of happening. I just thought of a scripture actually out of the Bible, and it says, God did not give me a spirit of fear, but a spirit of love, power, and a sound mind. And then also another scripture came up where it's like, I have the power to call things that be not as though they were. So you have the ability to tune into the divine, to make your words so immaculate that you can tune into the divine and be like, yo, I don't see this thing before me, but I'm calling it. I'm using my voice. I'm using my vibration. I'm using my spell to call it. Though it be not, I'm going to call it and bring it in as though it were. I'm going to talk to it. So a lot of that has to do with, like, for example, like, you need a new alternator for your car. Go ahead and start. It's not here yet, but thank you. Thank you, God. I know that it's on the way. Thank you, universe. Thank you, source. Thank you, spirit. You are my supply. I know this thing that I need is on the way, so I'm going to go ahead and start saying thank you. I'm going to get out of my way thinking that I know that how it needs to come and I don't see a way, but I trust that you are going to bring what I need to me. So thank you. Does your mind choose faith or the worst case scenario? And how well do you fight that fight to choose faith? Because that's the thing. Even though I'm in this place where I'm like instructing you guys, I have to fight still. I have to do it. It gets easier and easier every time I do it. But I still have to fight. I still have to, I'm fighting for something right now. And I refuse to let up. I refuse to give my faith over. There is just something about no. I trust in what I believe in. And that's the thing. Do you trust in the God of your understanding? Do you connect with it? What is your relationship to them? How often are you interacting with that? How often are you feeding or nurturing that relationship between you and the God of your understanding? And there's something very specific about, you expect to have all this big time active faith, but you're not feeding yourself what you need, the spiritual law, the spiritual word that you need so that you can have and inhabit house this big time faith. And I feel like there is an ending and a cycle of how we interact with our faith. An ending of a cycle in how we interact with our emotions and how we interact with our possessions. Because the major download that I got for this eclipse, for this full moon lunar eclipse, was actually a quote that I heard from Amber Khan. Shout out The Quietest Revolution. Rev fam till I die. If you know, you know. Go check out The Quietest Revolution. I always, like, I'm not trying to gatekeep nothing. Like, we got to put each other on. It takes a fucking village. That channel, that woman revolutionized, changed my life. And I hope she does the same for you. And I hope that I have a shred of the impact that she has had. So go check out Amber Khan. But this quote came from her. And not came from her. It's by Warren Buffett. But the quote is, the major download for this full moon, lunar eclipse in Taurus, is if you can't control your emotions, you cannot control your money. Warren Buffett said that. Shout out to Rev Fam. Y'all already know. And so in a world that tells us our emotions are unsafe, in a world that tells us that emotions are weak and soft and unstable, I feel like we must reclaim the power of our emotions. Your emotions your emotions must become a safe space within you. You have to feel safe to feel your feelings. So therefore you can harness your willpower. And because there is this upcoming rise of the feminine, an upcoming rise of the matriarchy, it's happening. I'm not the only one that got that. There are a multitude of readers that have gotten that message over this eclipse. And I was just as shook as y'all were. You know, I was like, okay, this isn't just me. All right. The divine feminine is rising up. And I just feel like in the midst of the uprising of the feminine, you better feel comfortable with your emotions. And so, you know I got to hit you with the handy dandy Inside Degrees by Elias Lonsdale. And I want to dive in to see what he has to say. This eclipse is happening October 28th, 2023. 2:24 p.m. Mountain Time, 4:24 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's happening at 5 degrees Taurus. So, ooh, nice, thank you. I went right to it. 5 degrees Taurus. All right, so Elias Lonsdale's description of the 5th degree of Taurus is tiny porcelain figures of people. Me. Hydrate. So the eclipse is happening at this degree. Wandering along the forgotten places, you feel saturated with memories and reflections, enchanted and left alone to sift through all of it in your own good time, subtly and pervasively removed from what is going on around. You are adrift in your own inward pictures. What comes of this is highly variable. It can be a fertile cycle to melt into the moon. It can be a fertile cycle to melt into the moon and come out refreshed and rewoven. It can be a fertile cycle to melt into the moon and come out refreshed and rewoven. It can be heavily seductive and habit forming, in which case you sink into a world apart and are really held there in subtle chains. Or it can be a secret door into the fairy kingdoms in order to commune with those who animate the elements and the inner worlds. One way or another, it is one of those regions that you can never navigate through unless you belong there. One way or another, it is one of those regions that you can never navigate through unless you belong there. And I feel like the divine is taking us to places where we belong, or we have arrived at the places where we belong. And if you do belong there, and if you do, you may be lost there or you may be found there, with everything dependent upon your heart force and your depth of resolve to stay faithfully with the subtle cues. Whoo, that's what I'm saying. There's something here about digging your heels into what it is that you feel like God has for you. If you cannot control your emotions, you cannot control your money. If fear comes up and you just all willy-nilly, everything is falling apart and this blah, 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 and you just have one little inclination of fear and everything falls apart and you can't hold it together and you can't see through the frustration into the fruition, then maybe you don't belong there. But I do feel like you're learning how to use your faith, how to turn your faith into the verb that it always has been. One way or another, it is one of those regions that you can never navigate through unless you belong there. And if you do, you may be lost there or you may be found there, with everything dependent upon your heart force and your depth of resolve to stay faithfully with the subtle cues. Whew. The cues will be subtle. The hints will be subtle. They're not going to be knocking you over the head. This is like, whoa. Do you have the resolve, Taurus energy? Do you have the resolve? Can you, I knew that this was going to happen. I need an actual necklace for this, and I haven't found it yet, but I love this piece so much. Let me try. Hydrate. Light it if you got it. Okay. Anyway, sorry. So, lunar eclipse energy, I don't feel like really it's the time to be, doing like magic. I feel like great time for offerings, but eclipse energy is wild, it's feral, it's intentionally unpredictable. So for our greatest and highest good. What do you want us to realize about our possessions? What do you want us to know about our possessions or our property or the things that we have? The Sun reversed and the Ten of Wands. It's like your things are not your sole source of positivity and happiness. I feel like the Sun being diminished in that solar eclipse has really meant to send us on a different way, send us on a different path. And I feel like there will be upset of emotions. There will be things coming up from, like, suddenly, things that you don't understand. Please clarify the Sun reverse. The Sun reverse is still, the Sun is like the most positive card in the deck. So the Sun reversed is just still the Sun. But I feel like what it's highlighting is the wrap, the hold in your mind, the loop, the restrictions in your mind, the source of the restrictions in your mind, where that binding came from. Some of you You can't dream bigger because your father didn't dream bigger, or nobody taught you how to dream bigger, or nobody was optimistic around you. I feel like we're starting to realize like our relationship to our possessions reflects a lot of like how we were raised. A lot of you grew up and all you had was your stuff to cling to. All you had was like your stuffies or your stuffed animals or your, you know, your bedroom, or the solace, the comfort of your room. And so you really learned how to value things. And some of us value things more than people. And I feel like there is, when it comes to like our possessions, our belongings, I feel like the sun is showing us what is of value, what's worth taking, what's worth hauling away, what's worth giving away, what's worth keeping, and what to apply our energy, our firepower, our willpower into. I feel like the divine is revealing the red flags within us, revealing the red flags around like your situation. Some of you are in a situation and all you need is for someone to see the light. All you need is for someone to get it. For someone to see through the bullshit, to see through the deception. And the divine is going to be providing that breakthrough for that person or for you. What's the advice that you have in regards to our relationship to our possessions? Five of Swords and the Five of Cups reversed. Yeah, I feel with the Six of Wands at the bottom of the deck, I feel like the advice that we have is conflictual. There is something about like understanding the power of detachment. Understanding that all of this shit is real and all of it's fake. Regardless, you know, it's all of it's real, all of it's fake at the same time. And I feel like there is this internal kind of conflict about like keeping your stuff and us choosing stuff over people, us choosing comfortability over people. Please clarify that. That's a lot of conflictual energy. But I feel like we're needing to look at our conflict in a different way. Wow, the Judgment reverse came out. Yeah, because there is something about getting off the fence, making a decision, allowing yourself to speak out, allowing yourself to hear what the divine has to say to you. Absolution. Feeling like cleansed, feeling cleared, feeling renewed. I feel like a profound sense of renewal is coming in. And the divine is asking you to acknowledge what is conflictual. What feels shady, what shady behavior is around. Or I feel like the divine, if there is shady behavior in your circumstances right now, the divine will be calling that out, clearing that up. Come on. Okay. What's being removed? What's being like? Is there anything is there anything being removed? Because with eclipse energy, usually it's like something going in or something coming in or something going out. What's on its way out? The Knight of Swords reversed. Our old sense of fight, the way that we used to like fight against the current or go against the grain. What's being removed, maybe somebody with Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius placements, someone that's always stirring shit up, somebody that I feel like has a lot of power to cause conflict with their words or with their delivery. They may have Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius placements. The troublemaker, the instigator, that person is like being removed. Wow, 10 of Swords on the bottom of the deck. Your refusal to have this radical change in your mind, that's being removed. This old victim mentality, or the mentality that like you always get the short end of the stick, or you always have to fight, or the rug always gets ripped out from you. Those mindsets are being removed. There are old thought processes that are being removed, old pains, old wounds that are being removed. When somebody, like somebody had been mean to you or sharp to you or degrading or disrespectful to you, and I feel like they are being removed, and the words that they said are being removed. The impact of the words that they said are being removed from your heart. The betrayal is being removed. The way that you responded to the betrayals that you've experienced, that shit's being removed. What's coming in? For our greatest and highest good, please show us what's coming in. What is this lunar eclipse bringing in? Nothing came out. What's coming in? I feel like the truth is coming in. Clarity is coming in. The Hermit reverse. The end of isolation. The end of all this alone time, the end of you keeping to yourself, the end of you being like intentionally isolating yourself. There may be some like you getting more harmonious in your mind, turning your back on this need to be alone, or you telling yourself that you need to be alone, you got to do it by yourself. I feel like a sense of community is coming in. Please clarify the Hermit reversed. What's coming in? There may be somebody with Virgo placements. Like I feel like a chill Virgo is coming in for some of you. Two of Wands. What's coming in is the opportunity to opt out of isolation, to start taking the road less traveled. You have the world in your hands. So much opportunity is coming in. For you, you are divinely supported to take the road less traveled, to start doing more things, to start exploring. I feel like also what's coming in could be somebody that really inspires love, artistry, creativity, romance in your life. After a period of heartbreak, after a period of feeling downtrodden, after a period of pain, I feel like there's somebody nice coming in to really help transmute those betrayals into breakthroughs, those betrayals into bonds, healthy bonds with people that you weren't able to see before. And what do we need to do to start healing our relationship to faith? Before I even look at this, what came through is like we all need to study. We all need to allow ourselves to like dive deeper and figure out who is the God that you are praying to, who is the source that you feel connected to. What do you know about the universe? What do you know about spirit? What do you know about the divine? I forgot what question I asked. Oh, what do we need to do to heal our faith? I feel like it's going to require an emotional outpouring. To heal our faith, we are needing to look back at the last 9 months, last 9-10 years, and the cycle of trust. What is your relationship to trust? Do you trust yourself? How can you trust in the divine if you don't trust in yourself? Because you are a fractal of the divine. What's going on with the advice for money? Because this is Taurus energy. Money, possessions, values. Let's see what's going on with financial situation. What's going on? Financial situation. A lot of you are rebuilding. A lot of you are rebuilding, and I feel like you're getting your part strong because another person and their part is coming in and they're going to be getting strong. So we've got to acknowledge our weakness. For those of you who are single, I feel like help is on the way. A community is coming, or a partner is coming, a lover possibly is coming. I feel like also like therapy, you could be like, what's the word? like reconstruction, like reconstructing your concept of money, reconstructing your relationship to money, reconstructing to your relationship to help. Some of you may be like talking to a financial advisor, becoming a financial advisor. There may be a partner or a lover that's coming in that's really, really good with money. They may have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Gemini, or Leo. Maybe Sagittarius placements too. Maybe Virgo as well. Yeah, lots of Virgo energy coming out, interestingly enough. What's the advice that we need for money? I feel like also learning how to talk about money, learning how to communicate, not letting it be this shameful hush-hush thing. Like, you're needing to learn how to have healthy communications around money. And the advice is like, you've got to start allowing yourself to think long-term, plan long-term, so you can start behaving long-term. You can go ahead and start making sure that your actions match your ambitions. Now, Spirit was just like, what do you have to say? What's going on with this? Strength coming out. Again, interesting. I feel like when strength is out, it's time to acknowledge what makes you feel weak. All this light all of a sudden. Ooh, I like that I said that. All this light all of a sudden, because the eclipse is about a diminishment of light. And for all, like, suddenly all this light to come in, I just feel like there is something here about like you feeling weak for a moment and then the divine providing strength. There is a continuous access to strength that's coming in, a renewed access to strength. And it comes by way of control, controlling your willpower, controlling your words, controlling your mind, being more masterful with your mind so you can be more masterful with your thoughts and therefore more masterful with your words. Hydrate. Especially when it comes to governing our money, I feel like everybody is like, feels like we're supposed to have it all together. And it's just like, nah, you don't, like, unless you studied it, unless you have a degree in it. And I feel like there's still so many questions that we as a country, we as a people have about money, about taxes, about, you know, like buying a house or the intricacies of like the financial world. You know what I mean? I just feel like it's okay to express if you don't feel confident in those things. Trust and believe that the divine is bringing in experiences and people that are going to help you feel stronger in those opportunities. Yes, Queen of Wands on the bottom of the deck, Wheel of Fortune, Chariot, baby. What you are fearful, but you got to get your mind right around this. A lot of us are stressed out, and that's the weakness coming up. But you've got to start to tap into your inner firepower, your inner lioness, your inner Leo. Tapping into that fiery Leo, Aries, Sagittarius energy and understanding that it's time to look forward towards the Wheel of Fortune and trusting and believing that it's spinning in your favor. But studying. Look at how they all have a book. They all have a book. And I feel like you are needing to apply your energy into studying the things that you want to know, into applying your energy into trusting the divine, trusting the God of your understanding, trusting this turning point. Things are about to go in your favor, babe. And in the ways that you've been down, the divine is absolutely swooping you up. And for a lot of you, a lot of us, we know people who have been at the top and who have squandered it. And I feel like the wheel will turn for them as well. But I know around here, we get victory. Victory by way of integrating our fears and our strengths. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to feel those feelings. It's okay to feel angst. You just got to understand that, like, what are those feelings trying to show you? Your feelings, your fear, your angst are showing you what you actually want, showing you what you actually desire, showing you what direction you actually want to go in. It's just a matter of, are you going to apply that willpower and harness that willpower into, like, this is what we're doing? Are we digging our heels in? Are we just going to buckle and give in and flop and go. Absolutely not. I stand in faith with you for you to have the things that you want, for you to have the things that are yours, for the divine to unlock the prosperity and the abundance and the infinite prosperity and abundance that is yours. I stand in faith with you there. I believe for you that what's for you can't miss you, and that everything is happening for you, for your betterment. Because this right here looks like we shall over fucking come. But you've got to tap into your instincts, your firepower, your connectivity. You've got to tap into your spirit. What is your spirit telling you? And what are you using your spirit, your connection to your spirit for? It needs to be applied to something. And I feel like what it needs to be applied to is faith. This wheel gonna spin regardless of how you want it to spin, where you want it to land, and what you want it to do. It's gonna spin regardless. And so haven't you learned how to trust yet? Do you trust the God of your understanding? Because if not, then this is kind of pointless. Even if the God of your understanding is nature, do you trust that? Do you trust it enough to rely on it? And how does it work for you? I want you to remember the divine is your supply. God is your supply. Not your job, not your manager, not that person that signs your checks. God is your supply. And God, source, spirit, the divine, whatever you like calling them, absolutely can make a way where you don't see a way. But what we do have to figure out is how to feel our emotions so we can trust them. We got to make our emotions a safe space so we can trust ourselves to control them. Because if you can't control your emotions, you can't control your money. We got this. Don't give up. Dig your motherfucking heels into your faith. Apply your faith to what you want and watch the miraculous unfold before you. I've seen it happen a dozen times. Like, it's possible. You can have it. You just have to believe. You have to apply your faith. So for instance, and also it's time to start demonstrating your faith. And I just did that. Okay, so let me give you a little insight. I just want to be vulnerable with you guys. But I also don't want you guys applying your worry to me at all. There's a situation where I am using my faith to stay in the living situation that I've created for myself, because I'm just about to pop off. We about to start doing some real healing. We about to really take things to the next level, and I'm applying my faith to stay in this position, in this place that I'm in, because I have invested so much. And one thing that kept coming, it's funny because I was like, I need to demonstrate my faith, that I believe that God is going to show up for me. I believe that what I believe in, what I pray for. And so it kept coming up to buy these light bulbs for downstairs, because I'm going to start having classes and sessions and stuff downstairs. And it was like, I'm not going to operate in fear. I'm going to buy these light bulbs for downstairs, because I will be here. And I will be doing the Lord's work here. Like I was shown. I trust what I saw. I trust what was revealed to me. And I'm going to apply my faith, dig my ditches, and demonstrate my faith by way of money to show the universe, to impress upon the simulation, to impress upon the divine, I believe. I have faith. And I believe in my ability to co-create with the divine and transmute my desires, Scorpio, into my possessions, Taurus. We got this. I love you. Don't give up. Dig your fucking heels in. But real quick, we're not digging our heels in and applying our faith for ain't shit bullshit situations. You are not to like be digging your faith in to stay with that fucking abusive dude, or for you to stay with that person that doesn't treat you that right, or that you just feel kind of like ho-hum with, or I don't want to be alone, so I want to stay in this relationship. No, we're not applying our faith to bullshit. We're applying our faith to what we actually fucking really truly desire. All right, love you, bye. Don't be a groupie, keep it moving.